Gabe and Kyle here. Gabe, we're at the Gaffney Waterwheel in Gaffney, South Carolina. What about you looks a little different?
Kyle, I do feel a little different. That's better.
Looking good, Gabe.
Let's do a Ouija board session.
I'm in.
Gabe Matthews here. I'm at the Gaffney Waterwheel with Joe Herlong, local of Gaffney. He has a lot to share about Gaffney and possible spirits at the Gaffney Waterwheel. There's some urban legend of the Gaffney Strangler about it.
I remember.
Yeah.
When I was about, I guess, 8 or 9 years old, I remember I couldn't go outside for about a year because my mom wouldn't let me out of the house. But I do remember going to see where he hid one of the bodies. It was back off of Highway 11, back across the field, down in the woods, and there was like a dry creek bed, and there was an undercut part of the bank of the creek bed, and he stuffed her up in there.
The urban legend I heard is that the body was buried here, and that
there was nobody buried here.
Okay.
He killed 3 women. For about the year they were looking for him, I could go outside.
So, do you think that this area, this mill, is haunted?
That I don't know. I've only been here a few times when I was in high school. It had been abandoned for a long time, but they tore it down because kids were going in there and it wasn't really safe and was about to fall in anyway.
So why do you think that people think that the Gaffney Waterwheel is haunted? Or
I have no idea.
If we were to, have a seance or some type of spirit board session here, do you think that we'd be able to get any evidence today?
I have no idea.
If you were to do a seance or a spirit board here, what kind of question would you want to ask the spirit?
No idea.
What about if you had been, if something had happened to you, and whenever you pass over, what kind of questions would you want someone to ask you?
Oh, that's one I've never been asked before. Good. No idea.
So this is the new toy, right, Gabe?
This is it. FLIR thermal camera.
What are we looking at?
Well, I'm going to see if we can find any hot or cold spots or possibly any entities with this camera.
That's great. Where are we again, Gabe?
Gaffney, South Carolina. It's an urban legend that the Gaffney Strangler buried one of his victims here.
And later on tonight, we're going to be doing a spirit board session.
Spirit board session.
Yeah, so we're going to go get some things ready for that. We're going to do a cleansing of the area, and really get a sense for what kind of spirits might be present here tonight.
Precisely.
Hey, Gabe, you think I could try out the FLIR?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
For this investigation, I thought it imperative to purchase a brand new thermal imaging infrared camera. I chose the Teledyne forward-looking infrared thermographic camera output with an enhanced vision system and video output model T530 with 180 degrees rotating lens, advanced on-camera measurement tools, laser-assisted autofocus, and proprietary adaptive filtering algorithms to produce brilliant thermal images with up to 307,200 pixels. This model maxes out at only 650 degrees Celsius, 1200 degrees Fahrenheit, so any hot spots above those temperatures will not be documented.
Now, what's going on with that camera, Gabe?
It's measuring all the temperature, and I'm looking for any anomalies or anything strange that might jump out, possible spirits or anything.
Oh, it's like someone left from Chick-fil-A.
Instead of recording visible light, forward-looking infrared cameras show mid and far infrared wavelengths measuring the energy being emitted by objects called emissivity. Emissivity measures the thermal electromagnetic infrared radiation emitted from the surface of an object. Kyle will later use these values with a bolometer to calculate the effectiveness of the spectral hemispherical emissivity value in wavelengths to determine if there are invisible spirits.
All right, Gabe, I'm getting a reading of about 60. I'm 70.
70.0.
I'm getting readings between 68 and 72.
Again, some fluctuations.
Hot and cold spots can be measured with the camera. Abnormal hot or cold spots can reveal the presence of an entity. It is believed when a spirit manifests, they make the environment very cold, and the thermal camera will pick up these cold spots. Spirits will show up in thermal images even when they are not visible in normal light because ghosts are energy. I chose to film with a 24-degree lens.
Kyle Jones here with Gabe Matthews. And Gabe's just using his thermal imaging camera to understand if this Gaffney Waterwheel has any presence of spirits.
Yeah, I'm getting about a 62 low to 73 maximum temperature. Difference of about 11 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not necessarily known if it's a spiritual or if there's any entities here with the temperature variations. We might have to do the spirit board session in order to find out exactly. So in order to validate the thermal camera, we also have this Raytech Ranger ST to verify the temperatures are accurate on the thermal camera, and I can conclude that they are.
There are many different ways to communicate with spirits. One of the most popular methods is to use a Ouija board. The Ouija board, also known as a spirit board, also known as a talking board, also sometimes pronounced Ouija, is a flat board marked with letters and numbers and uses a planchette as a movable indicator to spell out messages during a seance. The Ouija board was invented in 1886, a time when communicating with the dead was much more commonplace and not considered bizarre or weird behavior. Kyle and I decided to perform a Ouija board session at the Gaffney Waterwheel. The Gaffney Waterwheel is an alleged spot where the infamous Gaffney Strangler dumped one of his victims' bodies, and this said victim reportedly haunts the location. Prior to starting, candles were set up, including a ritual lighting. Kyle then performed a smudging with white sage. One of the key elements to performing a successful spirit board session is to proceed with an opening. Many experienced and trained investigators start with an opening prayer. In lieu of a prayer, I opted to read some hilarious jokes from 101 Ghost Jokes, while Kyle read from one of our favorite spiritual books, Anatomy of the Spirit, The 7 Stages of Power and Healing by PhD Carolyn Mace. This opening was specifically designed to lighten the mood and to let the spirits know that we have an advanced knowledge of spirituality.
Knock knock. Who's there? Ken. Ken who? Can I hide in the closet with you?
With the energy of the tidal chakra to give us first chakra intuition.
What kind of letters do ghosts like to send?
I met Aaron several years ago at a workshop.
What kind of ghosts hunt skyscrapers?
Silence during the entire workshop.
High spirit.
And when it was over, he announced that he was my ride to
What is
Amsterdam.
the ghost prize to
I was exhausted and wanted to sleep. But once we were on our way, he said, "Let me tell you all about myself."
in their game.
Okay, you got my attention.
Spirit.
Location: lower abdomen, the navel area.
What do the ghosts of
Energy
Gabe wear?
Cookie
To the
sheet.
physical body, sexual organ. Before we begin, can we create a safe word? Ouija? If either of us says the word Ouija, we know to stop. Okay? Do you have the light? Right? I'm just going to light one of these candles. When we end today's session, we know to blow that candle out, and that will sever the connection. Okay, so we brought our haunted mirror and haunted serving platter. And we got this from Haunted eBay. We were the highest bidders on both of these. This is actually a former cannibal owned this platter.
Former cannibal?
Right. It was,
I don't think you even used the word former.
well, it was owned by a former cannibal.
But once a cannibal, always a cannibal.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so it was owned formerly by a cannibal. Yes. Who is still a cannibal.
But once you eat human flesh,
Right.
you are always a cannibal, whether you stop
He didn't stop becoming a cannibal. He stopped eating.
eating
Humans.
people,
Okay.
but still a cannibal.
I see. Okay, so it was formerly owned by a current cannibal. Well, he's dead. Yeah.
Well, formerly owned by a cannibal.
Not a former cannibal. Right.
Yeah, he's just a cannibal.
He can't be reformed.
You can't be a current
Okay.
cannibal. You don't need
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's Oh, and this mirror was actually owned by. It was used for witch purposes, maybe rituals of some kind, or maybe just to have around the house.
ceremonial witch meat.
Right. Or getting ready in the morning type of mirror. So, in order to start a spirit board session, Gabe, what's the first steps?
Well, we both placed our hands on the pinchette, and we moved this around a little bit,
Right.
trying to get it warm.
Okay.
And then we moved, and now, once it's warm, if it feels kind of warm,
I think it's warm.
you can ask, is there any spirits here?
It's feeling a little hot, actually.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be hot?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little close to the candle.
It's like, yes, there's a spirit here.
Let me move this candle.
Spirit, what is your name? Got a V.
What do you do if it's in the middle?
You can write down either one and maybe later figure out what makes sense. And this is like a I. It's actually in between IC. You think it's VIC? And Vic is here. Vic, what were you like in your past life?
Eight?
They say 8. A.
H-A?
P.
P? H-A-P?
Y.
H-A-P-Y?
I'm pressing.
H-A-P-P-Y?
You think you went PP?
Does a spirit need to learn how to spell in order to communicate?
I don't think so. I think they can communicate whether they spell or not.
What language do you think Vic spoke?
You can ask them. Vic, what language did you speak?
Five?
You spoke 5 languages.
One of the biggest concerns about communicating with spirits is the level of clarity. We're in a public setting like this, but there is a little bit of noise present, ambience. But ultimately, we wanted to get a sense of how could we be more clear when talking with spirits. And one theory was we're going to do a little bit of a repetition. So Gabe is going to ask the question, and then he's going to ask me to repeat the question. And then I will repeat the question in order for the spirits to have an opportunity to hear that.
This next question comes from Zach Frag 94. The question is, what happened to people who lived there?
Can I hear it? What happened to people who lived there?
Yeah.
H?
H.
E?
E.
J? Q?
Q.
HTJQ? We're listening, Vic, if you can hear us. T. Is it possible that we didn't understand the question? How could one go about answering that question, Jake?
One does speak 5 languages. It's possibly speaking Finnish.
Ah, good point. We didn't bring a finished board.
Nor do I know Finnish. This is from our spiritual advisor and shaman, Cargito Mundi.
Shout out to Kagito if you're going to be watching this later.
If you could be anywhere else, where would you be?
If you could be anywhere else, where would you be?
All right, Vic. If you could be anywhere else, where would you be?
You could be anywhere else. Where would you be?
If you could be anywhere else, where would you be?
You could be anywhere else. Where would you be?
If you could be anywhere else, where would you be?
You could be anywhere else. Where would you be?
You?
It's a D? E? C?
C?
A? Utica.
Utica?
It's a city in northern New York. Great question, Kagito.
Yeah, thank you, Cargito.
Vic, if you can hear us. What type of blood type were you? O? It was O?
Vic, were you killed by the Gaffney Strangler?
Yes. Were there more victims of the Gaffney Strangler? Did they catch the right guy? No. This question comes from Joe Hutchington. We asked Joe, if you were dead, what would you want someone to ask you? Joe didn't have an answer to that question.
No idea.
See? See? Okay.
Okay. T. TKT.
If there are any spirits there, or here, if there are any spirits here, what type of music do you like? N. I are the nerve. Is Vic like Nirvana? Does Vic listen to Nirvana?
Kurt Cobain, are you here with us?
No movement. I don't think it's Kurt Cobain. I don't think he's ever been to Gaffney. If there's any spirits there, do you have anything that you need to tell us? S. D. H. Seven.
STH7.
STH7.
This has been a pretty awesome Ouija board session.
I've really enjoyed this spirit board. But since Gabe said the magic word, Ouija, it's time to stop.
Before we stop, we must say goodbye.
And Gabe, what does that mean exactly?
We're saying goodbye to the spirits because the negative energy won't come with us.
And always use the planchette towards the goodbye section of the Ouija board.
It's also very important when you're done to do a good closing.
And if you have lit a spiritual candle, do extinguish that candle, because that will sever any residual spirits that may be tagging along.
And now, for our closing, we're going to do Nirvana's Come As You Are. Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as an old enemy. Take your time, hurry up. The choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest, as a friend, as an old memory. Memory. Memory.